This is a United States military base. I am American. America built this country.
Oh my God, you won't believe the latest tea about Johnny Somali. Word on the street is he's finally left South Korea. But honey, the drama he stirred up, it's only getting hotter. Let me spill all the piping hot details. The US government is finding itself in the most awkward position ever, darling. We're talking unprecedented levels of mess. Somali's outrageous behavior abroad has caused such massive international drama. And get this, leaving the country hasn't saved him from trouble. In fact, a new legal case against him is building up. And between you and me, it might be the biggest challenge he's ever faced. You're going to want to sit down for this one, bestie. The whole uproar started when this absolute madman had the nerve to broadcast North Korean propaganda while in South Korea. Like, hello? That's a straight-up violation of their super strict laws about anything North Korea related. A big shot lawyer recently spilled the tea on X, and let me tell you, it's so much worse than we thought. They're saying this isn't just about his usual messy behavior or attention-seeking stunts anymore. By sharing North Korean propaganda, this man didn't just cross a line, he literally bulldozed through it and crashed right into national security territory. Can you even? And South Korea? Oh honey, they are not playing around. They're keeping their eyes glued on his every single move. Sources tell me Seoul prosecutors are tracking him like hawks, and the tea is scalding. But here's what's absolutely sending me. This man seems to have zero awareness or just doesn't care about how serious this is. Despite all the obvious legal risks, he just kept pushing and pushing, breaking South Korea's strict laws left and right. Like, make it make sense. Everyone's saying his desperate thirst for clout has completely blinded him to the consequences. But sweetie, this isn't just some silly internet drama anymore. We're talking full-blown political controversy with some seriously heavy legal implications. A lawyer just dropped the most shocking revelation, y'all. This situation has spiraled way beyond Somali's usual chaotic behavior. We're not just talking about mischief anymore, darlings. This is a direct attack on South Korea's fundamental national security principles. Like, could he be any more reckless? With the stakes getting higher by the minute, the whole world is watching with bated breath as South Korean and US authorities figure out their next move. And get this juicy tidbit, some reports are suggesting he might even face charges as a North Korean agent. Now, while that might just be for show to condemn his outrageous behavior, can we talk about how wild that is? Sure, the chances of him being charged as an actual spy might be tiny, but honey, let me tell you, playing North Korean propaganda and openly mocking South Korea, he's practically begging for harsh punishment. The experts are all saying his obvious attempts to stir up drama are more than enough for South Korean prosecutors to throw the book at him. But wait, it gets even juicier. There's buzz going around that Somali might be thinking about seeking refuge in North Korea. I know. Absolutely bonkers, right? His recent videos supporting North Korea have everyone raising their eyebrows, with some thinking he's trying to get on Pyongyang's good side. But let's be real, most people are rolling their eyes at this desperate plan. And then he has the audacity to sign off with ISC, see you in the next video. But honey, this drama is far from over. Sources are whispering that South Korean intelligence agents are watching his every single move. There's no way he's slipping across any borders without them knowing. Meanwhile, the locals are going off on social media. One user threw the shadiest comment. This guy's going to end up with a 50-year sentence when it's all said and done. And while that might sound over the top, it really shows just how deep in trouble our boy Johnny is. His actions haven't just made South Koreans furious, he's literally painted himself into a corner with absolutely no way out. Under all this pressure, Somali's trying desperately to save his reputation. He actually released an apology video about his controversial behavior at the Comfort Women statue, but everyone's seeing right through it. Critics are absolutely dragging him, calling the apology shallow and fake. And then, get this, he deleted the story where he played the North Korean anthem. Talk about damage control. But sweetie, it's way too little. Too late. The tea gets even hotter. He had the absolute nerve to play the Imperial Japanese Army March while doing the Roman salute. I cannot even begin to tell you how furious this made Koreans and pretty much everyone else around the world. In the clip, he actually taunted Koreans, telling them to go fight Japan instead of being mad at him. Like, who does that? The audacity is just, I can't. A South Korean news agency spilled all the details about how he played that march while flashing that salute, and then had the nerve to try stirring up war between Korea and Japan. The backlash, immediate and fierce. One user, Riley, came through with the shadiest suggestion ever. They said maybe Johnny Somali could finally unite North and South Korea by having them work together on his punishment. They even suggested sending him to a North Korean labor camp for life, while South Korea films it as a reality show of him crying himself to sleep. The shade of it all. But let's get serious for a hot minute. His behavior has gone beyond ridiculous. From causing international drama to, and I kid you not, assaulting a fish in South Korea. Like, what is even going through his mind? His actions are getting more and more unhinged, showing zero respect for cultural or legal boundaries. People are saying he's basically a danger to anything or anyone in his path, and the calls for punishment getting louder by the minute. Someone just dropped this bombshell on X. Our boy Johnny's looking at an extra 7 years in prison for spreading North Korean propaganda, on top of the 10 years he's already facing for assault and other charges in South Korea. But here's what's absolutely sending me. He's still acting all confident and unbothered. The delusion is real. Some people think he's desperately clinging to this wild fantasy of escaping to North Korea, but let's be real, that's about as likely as me winning the lottery tomorrow. The South Korean authorities are absolutely determined to make him face the music for all his disruptive and provocative behavior. The drama has totally exploded on Reddit, with everyone throwing in their 2 cents about his punishment. One user predicted, and I'm living for this tea, that he's probably looking at 12 to 16 years, with maybe some early parole just so they can look a tiny bit merciful, but not too merciful. Another user spilled that South Korea just can't afford to go easy on him at this point. And honestly, after everything he's done, there's basically zero sympathy left for him. The South Korean legal system has totally reached their breaking point with this mess. Everyone's saying they can't possibly show any mercy now. It would make them look so weak on the international stage. And trust me, South Korean citizens are not having it. They're saying anything less than severe punishment would send all the wrong messages about respecting their country's history and values. But wait, there's more. Word on the street is that South Korean authorities have been having some hush-hush diplomatic talks with the US about how to handle this whole explosive situation. His wild behavior, desecrating monuments and promoting North Korean propaganda, hasn't just made everyone furious, it's put this incredibly uncomfortable spotlight on South Korea's whole judicial process. The most insane part? Somali seems completely detached from reality. He's apparently banking on the US embassy swooping in to save him. Like, honey, read the room. One Reddit user totally nailed it when they said big elections are coming up, and politicians are going to want to look their absolute best. Somali's probably going to be made an example of, and honestly, everyone's here for it. That North Korean anthem stunt might just be the final nail in his coffin. By messing around with national security issues, he basically wrote his own death warrant. No judge in their right mind is going to go easy on him, especially since he did it all for views and clout. Like, did he really think he could just brush this off as content creation? The absolute gag is that he still thinks the US is going to come running to his rescue. There are even whispers about his citizenship possibly getting revoked. Can you imagine? If that happens, all those rights he's counting on, poof, gone in a second. What's truly sending me is how he managed to dodge serious consequences for so long, despite pulling some of the most outrageous and offensive stunts imaginable. Will he end up spending years behind bars? Could this whole mess actually set a global precedent for dealing with out-of-control streamers? The way things are looking, Johnny Somali has literally run out of options, and his future, honey, it's looking darker than a black hole. The ultimate question remains, will he face that lengthy sentence in South Korea's prison system? Can he possibly find any way to redeem himself, or is he doomed to spend years behind bars for his actions? Drop your thoughts below, because this tea is absolutely scalding, and we're all here for how this drama unfolds.